This is going to be a bit of a strange video. I haven't decided whether or not it's going to be a I'm leaving Fujifilm forever video, or this is my favorite film sim. You should use only these three. It's one of those. Both, I think.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Fuji X-H2S 35mm 1.4 with a glimmer glass 1 douche tuber light complementing the even douchier Christmas lights. We're just in standard Pruvia colors, and we'll switch a couple. Don't worry about that. So I think I've lost my damn mind. What am I doing with my life? I have way too many systems. Something overtook me, a madness, a disease, a witch, like blasted some beams at me. I'm like, I'll buy a Fuji and a Canon, and I was controlled by robots, and I don't get it. Like, I have a Sony ZV-E1, Nikon Z6 III, Canon C70, what the hell, and now a Fuji X-H2S as well. I'm losing my mind. Every time I sit down to make a video, I'm like, which one will I use? It's only confusing my own mind. It's like, I think I'll film on the Fuji today, but I could just do that on the Nikon. I did it not long ago. It's like, same 50mm lens. Why do I have a 50mm for each system? I don't need all these different looks, and if I could just learn to color grade one time, I'd be done. Now, while standard color science is one of the best, let me switch to another that I used to love, but maybe no longer. So now we're in Astia. I used to think this was like one of the more secret film sims. It's like, wow, I loved it, but I think it just makes my skin more yellow. Standard versus me. No one cares about any of this. But I've noticed owning all these different systems, this is now my focus. Like, just my show is 100% what skin color am I? I could go on National Geographic and be analyzed by tribes, but it just got me thinking, I love decluttering and slimming down everything I own, and just everything's efficient. I don't have to think about things. And if I was to whittle down this collection, I think it would be Fuji on the chopping block, just because when I'm comparing it to my full frame setups, there's always a certain look that APS-C is giving you. I don't know if it's too much contrast in these little film sims. It's a cheapness to it. There's something off. Either the highlights are clipping, or I'm sure you could expose properly if you learned math, but I never do, and I always notice it. When I switch to the Fuji, I like the colors, but then something's cheap looking. APS-C, you're not full frame. Leave my life. For example, Proneg High. I like the color of my face. Don't love how it's just so contrasty. Like, the black's gone, highlights clipped. I heard a ding. Did you hear that ding? That timed well with me coming up. There's lights now, and I should have done that at the beginning. I effed this up hard. Clipping, cheap, one might notice. If I have the Nikon Z6 III with the 50mm 1.4 and red luts, why on earth did I spend thousands of dollars? I just had to know. I had to remember the Fuji magic that I missed. And it's not that magical. Really, all it is you're kind of out of focus. This lens is the only reason I got into the system. It's too sharp. Don't even know what we're doing. And then I can't use this for anything but this. This bullshit video you're seeing now, that's all I can do with this thousands of dollars setup. I can't do slow motion street videography. What are you doing? You know what I'm debating buying? There's no debate about it. I've already set up the meeting. I'm about to pounce on the Canon EF 50mm 1.2. So, like, I could see a place for the C70 in my life. That's like just a beautiful image. Okay, your magic, your DGO sensor. Fuji, I don't know what you are, and you need to leave my life, but I can't quit you. I'm like that cowboy who, like, he shook hands with that guy. I didn't see the whole movie, but I don't know what the whole thing was there, but they developed a friendship of some sort, and they just wanted to laugh, I think. I should have read the reviews on that one, but I need to quit you. Okay, now we're in F-Log, the original. We should be seeing some more highlight dignity. I doubt we are, but then once you're in log, you're no longer this cheap, contrasty look, but that's part of the fun of a Fuji. You get all these different film sims, but they're all cheap looking, unless you expose properly, which I refuse to. So like, if you had official Fuji LUTs for each of your film sims that worked with all the different F-Logs, then we'd be laughing at kangaroos while I jump in their pouch, because I need a ride, if you don't mind. But we're not in that world, are we? We're in some bullshit world where I have one official LUT that goes from this bullshit to wide DR Fuji style, and they're not good LUTs. From everything I've heard, most people never use Fuji official LUTs, but that's all I use, because I refuse to learn the color matrix that is taught to me by morons. I hate it all so much. Oh, do aces, switch to DaVinci wide gamut, and then, oh, color space transform on this end and then that end. Fuck you. I ain't doing any of that, ever. Since day one of getting this Fuji, I've been like, what the hell is that? Debating selling you immediately. I actually had it listed within days of trying my first video. I was like, why is it so sharp? And then eventually I learned to tweak some things, little soft thing here, and oh my god, it's Flog2 was the problem, and a lot of quirks in the Fuji system. The autofocus, don't even get me started on that. But like, eventually you come to a place where this is decent. But like, why do you own it when there's others that are better? Canon has more dynamic range and more natural colors, if we're being honest. Fuji's a special look, especially good. Sony, like, way more reliable. Nikon, even better. Full frame Fuji, basically. That's what you are. Now we're in Flog2c. This was the new one that like desaturated the reds and made a better face. But then like, all your red stuff is orange. That light's way too bright now that I see that looking weird. I don't know how I feel about the Flog2c. It's a strange color matrix. It's different. But Flog2 is even worse. Just so over sharpened, but none of the color benefits. Flog1 was the best thing, but then in a Fuji style, you're upgrading features, but they're worse every time. So like, is that an upgrade? Did you Kaizen us? You Kaizened me to sleep and chopped off my neck. Chopped off my neck, not the head. You just took an inch off. Shorter neck. There's nothing wrong. I could get a date. If I came up to you, I was like, hey, let's shake hands later. Man, Mr. Man, huh? Not a date. It's friendship. Fuck you. So as I debate selling everything I own every day, I think I would start with the Fuji. I don't see you. I don't get what we're doing here. Once I get that 50mm 1.2, are you even joking? Canon C70 speed boosted DGO sensor with internal NDs. Are you even in the conversation here? Where would Fuji come in to steal your thunder? Even Sony has better color science to some colorblind monkeys. I've seen them. I've seen the studies. But the gear-obsessed moron YouTuber brings you less interesting videos. That's a fact. I feel less interesting lately. Since I've got all 4 of these systems, that's all I think about is what I'm gonna film on instead of making boardroom meetings, the shilltuber guy. When's the last time I did that? What are we even doing here? I should be creating movie scenes only. Boardroom meetings, comedy, fun, and slow motion goodness. To the demise of you. Who say, why are you so obsessed with slow-mo? Because you're boring me right now. That's why. Fuji has no creative place in somebody's tool shed, if you know what I mean. There's not a lot you can bring to the table. I can't trust you anywhere. The one thing I love about Fuji is what I've displayed in this video is that you can change the color science and you have so many different looks in one camera. Whereas like, see, we're cycling through like, oh, standard, ASTI, wow, look at all that. Sony is just like, you best be in S-Log3 or you're done. There's nothing, man. S-Cinetone's too red. I don't know how to tweak it enough. standard's like a little too orange and yellow and weird. You're in S-Log3. You have one look. You could change LUTs, but use the Canon C-Log2 LUT and you'll live. You'll live to talk about it. But like Fuji, like all these different looks, but the looks are cheap because they're not the full dynamic range. And that's why you shoot Fuji, to be in this profile, but then you have to learn color grading, basically, and try to mimic nostalgic neg and stuff like that, like I've just done. This is nostalgic bullshit. So it is kind of fun, admittedly, to have all these different options, and then like, I'm gonna go shoot on this today. Oh no, I'm gonna try this. But like, it doesn't bring anything to you, and that's my purpose here, is to bring fun things to you, and I'm failing at my own goal, and that's a bitch. So it's like, we got a dark winter ahead of us, and it's just gonna be in here, switching various, oh, we're on the Nikon today, wow, can you believe that? I'm comparing something I've compared 50 times already. So I might list this for sale. I'm still debating on that, depending on how this video looks. I'll be like, oh wow, I can't believe all the different looks I can get. No other camera system can offer you that. Unless it's all sucked, and this is the only good one, and it's not even good, then you're listed. And then we're down to 3, and then who will survive that battle? Sony, Canon, Nikon, the big 3 full frame boys, all have something unique about them. Fuji, very unique, but also very stupid with your autofocus. So smooth. Never falter. Don't pay attention to those. We learned something. Fuji won our hearts. Which color profile did you like best? I'm keeping Fuji forever because of all the amazing looks. Flog2c is good. Better than C-Log2, I think. Probably not. He better not be doing a side-by-side with that bullshit. That monitor was on the whole time. That ruined my lighting. Did you see it? Did you notice it? Oh man, just a little side rant and then I'll leave. I've been editing in DaVinci. Once I got this new GPU, the colors no longer look the same in my pot player. Side by side, that's what I see in DaVinci versus my new bullshit faded whatever the hell that is. So I've made some tweaks and I got it to look somewhat the same, and now it looks more contrasty. I can't get it to look the same. I don't know why. What happened? AMD, I hate you so much, and I have no USB-C port, oh my god. But neither does the 4090 or the 4080 Super. I'm in hell. Why didn't I go for a Mac Mini? I'm stupid. I'll leave now after Bitcoin gets donated towards my camera gear fund that I sell off. Subscribe for more, man. I'll send it.